Dawn rises slowly over the Louisiana swamps. The air is humid and heavy with the smell of mud and moisture. Alligators are more than just symbols here. They are part of the ecosystem and a threat. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, there are about 5 million American alligators living across the southern part of the country. Louisiana and Florida alone account for more than 70% of the total population, where water, mud, and mangroves merge into a world of their own. The average density is 510 per square kilometer of swamp. But in urban areas along canals, that number can double. And then the boundary between nature and humans almost disappears. American crocodiles are ancient creatures. They have existed for more than 150 million years. Average length trawls are catheters, weigh up to 400 kilograms. Some giant individuals exceed half a ton. Slither silently under the water. Only the eyes and the bridge of the nose are exposed in the humid mist. They do not hunt in packs. They act alone, silent, patient, precise. A small movement or the slightest sound of water is enough to make them jump. Attack speed of more than 30 kilometers per hour in a few short seconds. In Louisiana, people say the surface of the water is always calmest right before it bursts with a bite.
You don't really want to watch.
Oh my god.
So the finished one zebra and
in your opinion, what makes crocodiles have existed for more than 150 million years without ever becoming extinct? Comment your opinion to discuss.
That's guts.
Summer in the southern United States is not just about heat. It is also about breeding season for alligators. When the water rises and the mud softens, females begin digging nests at the edges of the swamp. They build nests out of dry grass, rotting leaves, and wet mud. Each female lays 30 to 50 eggs. The warm climate allows for a high hatching rate. Only a small fraction survive. The population continues to grow rapidly each year. This explosion puts enormous pressure on both the environment and people. Their routine is clear and brutal. They hide for hours. No chase, no noise. They choose the perfect moment. When their prey is off guard, then they leap, lock on, spin, and plunge into the water. The death roll, a deadly spin that tears the prey apart in seconds.
Oh no, got him.
But in the city, the victims are no longer deer or waterfowl. It's dogs, small livestock. Sometimes humans walking near the shore. More than 150 attacks are reported each year in Louisiana, Florida, and Texas. 5 to 10 people die. Damage is in the tens of millions of dollars. A chilling reminder, nature never really gives up.
Well,
after the Goliath von Rue storm in 2023, things get out of hand. Floodwaters surge from swamps, bringing hundreds of giant alligators into the city.
You going back? You going back? I'm going back too.
They crawled through parking lots. They crawled into sewers. They even emerged in the middle of golf courses. The city was gripped by fear. That was when Operation Hot Gun was born, a massive hunting and control campaign launched by the Louisiana government. Professional hunters were licensed and specially trained. It was just dawn on the Louisiana swamp. The air was humid and smelled of mud. The morning light reflected off the murky waves. The hunters were quietly rowing a small aluminum canoe. They glided through the thick reeds. They held loaded 308 Winchester rifles. They stopped at a wide stretch of water. The leader raised his binoculars and scanned the shore of the swamp. On a rocky outcrop in the reeds, a large shadow lay still, basking in the sun.
check how much bigger he is than that, Alex. Watching the sandbank all day since about. Oh, he's on the up. He's on the baboon. He's on the baboon.
The hunter raised his gun, leaned against the side of the boat. He breathed slowly.
Behind him.
And one more time.
The shot rang out sharply, resonated on the water. The animal thrashed violently, then sank in a white foam. No pride, no regret. Because here, each bullet was not to show strength, but to maintain the boundary between man and the world that nature had never wanted to share. In addition to hunting by boat in the swamp, many hunters also choose to ambush on land, especially during the day, when the crocodiles leave the water to bask. This way of hunting is more dangerous, but more effective and direct.
See his back, straight away from us. Yeah, he's eating now. It's a risky shot.
Yes, good shot.
Ah, he's dead.
No, but he was cruising.
The current was on take him. So I just ran in there and grabbed him quickly.
We've looked at crocs all week long.
He said it's the last day and nope.
Shoot his crocodile yesterday, very nice crocodile.
Amidst the seemingly perfect canopy of South Africa's nature, a silent threat is spreading. In recent years, the country has faced its biggest challenge from invasive animals, especially the uncontrolled outbreak of wild monkeys. They are intelligent, agile, and increasingly reckless. Can humans coexist peacefully with them, or will this be the new war between nature and man? What do you think? At first, people only saw a few monkeys lurking on rooftops or in cornfields. But soon, they appeared everywhere in groups, destroying crops, snatching fruits, and tearing rice bags right before the eyes of farmers. For millions of people who depend on agriculture, it is a real nightmare. Not only do they take away their livelihoods, they also recklessly attack people, break into houses, ransack belongings, and spread fear throughout villages. In the eyes of South Africans, wild monkeys are no longer animals but real enemies. In the face of an escalating threat, as wild monkeys turn their fields into battlefields, the biggest question is, what will South Africans do to reclaim their lives?
Oh, he got you back!
Will they fight or find a way to coexist with these intelligent and cunning creatures? Watch today's video as we explore the bold measures and unexpected strategies being deployed to restore the balance between humans and nature.
And they're growing.
According to the latest report from the California Department of Environmental Protection, a threat is quietly spreading as more and more wild monkeys appear, moving between residential areas, parks, and farms. There are now more than 5,000 individuals recorded, but that number is just the tip of the iceberg. With a dizzying reproductive rate and incredible adaptability, experts warn, if not controlled in time, in just a short time, they could double in number, turning California into an unwanted monkey kingdom of humans. Moreover, wild monkeys can become aggressive and attack humans. At first, only a few monkeys recklessly approached humans, but soon they started to attack for real. Screams rang out as their claws scratched the skin, leaving wounds that were at risk of infection. On the streets, monkeys rushed out unexpectedly, causing unimaginable accidents. They climbed electric poles, damaged cameras, even jumped on car roofs, snatched bags of food in broad daylight. It was no longer a prank, it was real chaos between the city and the wild forest. Faced with a storm called wild monkeys, South African farmers are forced to stand up to protect their crops. But they are not alone. Wildlife experts are also involved with a strategic control plan. Among the devastated fields, traps are set, tranquilizer guns are prepared. The goal is not to destroy, but to control and temporarily subdue them to remove them from residential areas, restoring the fragile boundary between humans and nature. In the blazing midday sun, cage traps were cleverly placed along the edge of the forest, where monkeys often come to find food. On the traps, golden bananas, ripe mangoes, and sweet papayas exuded an alluring scent. Each curious monkey approached, eyes darting, arms reaching out. And in a split second, bang, the iron door closed, a shrill cry echoed in the harsh sunlight. The hunter approached from afar, his eyes cold but restrained, completing his mission in the war between humans and nature. The golden ripe bananas, sweet mangoes, and fragrant papayas were not only bait, but also the way humans chose to avoid causing pain to animals. The hunters waited patiently, each drop of sweat falling on the hot ground. They understood this was not a game of chasing, but a challenge of ingenuity and humanity. In addition to the cage traps, large nets were set up, hidden among the foliage and sunlight. Each rope was stretched tight, waiting for the right moment. When the monkeys entered, the net closed gently without a gunshot, without bloodshed, only the rapid breathing of humans between the thin line between control and compassion. When they approached the traps and tried to get food, the net traps would quickly take effect and catch them. In your opinion, who really won in this confrontation? The hunters or the wild monkeys? Leave your answer in the comments. Not only relying on traps, sometimes hunters are forced to face wild monkeys directly. In the middle of the dense forest, they hide behind the foliage, clutching the tranquilizer gun. This weapon does not kill, but puts the animal into a temporary sleep. Everything is suffocatingly silent, only the sound of the wind whistling and heavy breathing. Then suddenly, a monkey's shadow appears on a high branch. The hunter aims carefully, his heart beating fast with each pull of the trigger. Bang! The bullet flies, tearing through space, opening a life and death moment between instinct and control. When the silhouette of the monkey appeared on the high branch, the hunter immediately tensed up. His breathing slowed, his finger gently tightened on the trigger. The sunlight filtered through the foliage, reflecting on the barrel of the gun, causing everything to become so quiet that one could hear the rapid beating of the heart. He aimed precisely at the chest or head, where the shot could quickly take down without causing serious injury. This was not a game, but a job that required skill, discipline, and a deep understanding of monkey behavior. A small mistake could put both man and animal in danger. The debate over the hunting of wild monkeys in South Africa has never cooled down. On one side, people are heartbroken to see animals being shot down, believing it is cruel and inhumane. On the other side, the government insists this is the only way to protect crops, health, and human lives. Between these two streams of opinion is a struggle between compassion for animals and fear of seeing homes and fields destroyed. Who is right, who is wrong, or are they just two sides of the same anxiety about wild nature? For the people of South Africa, the sleepless nights caused by wild monkeys have not ended when another threat has arisen: baboons. They are big, reckless, and destroy as fast as a storm. In just a few hours, the entire crop field was devastated. The hunter stood in the middle of the field, looking at the thick monkey footprints on the ground, his eyes mixed with anger and helplessness. He understood this was not just a battle to regain the crops, but a battle for survival between humans and wild instincts that never give up. What do you think about this hunt? Leave a comment below the video and subscribe to the channel to join the next hunt. They were no longer afraid of people. In broad daylight, the baboons recklessly poured down the mountainside, breaking down doors, ransacking kitchens, stealing food, and tearing up everything in their path. Faced with this situation, the South African government was forced to act.
Here we have some baboons in a
In the
kitchen,
Twain area,
just hanging out.
a series of emergency regulations were issued, allowing controlled hunting. This order was not only a measure to protect property, but also a clear warning: the war with the baboons had truly begun. The government's move is seen as a bold but necessary step in an effort to control the increasingly out-of-control baboon population. However, the hunt is not open to everyone. Each licensed hunter must adhere to a series of strict regulations, from the area of operation, the type of weapons allowed, to the hours of hunting. The goal is not just to take down, but to control in a way that protects humans while maintaining the delicate balance between order and nature. While the morning mist still covered the mountainside, the hunter quietly prepared. The gun was carefully cleaned, each bullet was carefully checked. Ranger knew that today's opponent was not an ordinary animal, but a group of intelligent, agile, and cunning baboons. Deep down, he was not happy when he pulled the trigger. Each shot was not only a forced action, but also a struggle between the responsibility to protect humans and the compassion for wild creatures. When the gunshot rang out, the whole forest seemed to hold its breath. One monkey fell, the others ran away in all directions. The hunter bowed his head, not because of victory, but because of the silence that followed. He understood that this was not a hunt to kill, but to balance so that humans could live in peace, and nature knew to take a step back. But in his eyes, there was still a quiet sadness, as if each bullet left a wound in his own soul. They are only allowed to use guns with silencers to limit the noise, avoiding causing panic to people and other animals in the area. At the same time, hunting young or pregnant individuals is absolutely prohibited, a humane regulation helping to maintain the natural balance and prevent excessive decline of the baboon population.